Hi, today I got an email from GVK. He says, "Hi Bharat, I am GVK from Hyderabad. Can you please suggest me effective German speaking paid and unpaid apps?" For German speaking apps, like of course you don't have like something very targeted to Germany alone. Like if you're looking for like any kind of exchange apps and stuff, like you have italki and like a bunch of other apps that you can just quickly find on Google. But I think the more interesting part is going to be to compare the German learning apps, like what are the paid and unpaid German learning apps. But I also think the rather important part of this question is like the paid part, because most of the people there have this idea that, you know, like let us just get everything for free. But the one thing that you're missing out here is that if somebody's making anything for free, he doesn't have an incentive to like keep on updating it or like keep on developing it further, or like, you know, just like pay his own bills, because he has to decide in the end, does he want to do something where he's like essentially earning no money at all and, you know, like not able to survive on what he's doing, or he's making something of value and the value of the product is so much that people are willing to pay him something, and then it is just a good transaction for both of the parties. The customers who have the money, they give the developer the money, the customers like pretty much solve a problem that they were facing. So that is super important, because with free things you cannot like go far, and that is something that I have seen. Like even when I was learning German on my own, I bought the books. So like of course like books were also an investment, and it was an investment that I absolutely do not regret. I mean, investing in courses, investing in books, like these are pretty much the important things that would like take you further. So never like kind of hesitate from investing in it. Alina and I, we both have this mentality, and this is also the reason like you see like so many books on that side, and we also read a lot of like different kind of books so that we have this kind of creative freedom that we can like understand the opinion of somebody who is a bit different than ours. Now, so here when you see like I have books for Danish, I have books for Russian, because these were the two languages that I'm also like planning to learn, but just like never got the time for. Right, so like books, courses and everything is going to be an investment, but for this video I'm going to start with the unpaid apps first, and then afterwards I will move towards the paid apps. For the unpaid apps, I think one of the best examples is of course Duolingo. They have done actually a very great job in like, you know, keeping the German language learning or any kind of language learning free. But the problem that I see there is that it is learning with translation, which like doesn't really make a lot of sense for me, because you can just directly tap on the word and see like what it's called in English and then just write the same sentence, which essentially is like cheating. It's not really like, you know, yeah, learning something. Plus you learn by hit and trial. You do a lot of mistakes, and then afterwards every single time you do it, you remember, okay, the next time I don't have to say that word as that, or like write this word as this. I would say Duolingo is fine if you're a casual learner, but if you really have a goal and you want to like, you know, complete your German language in some specific amount of months, then I don't think you should be relying on that at all. And if you're relying on it, like do that only with the help of books on the side. If you're just thinking I'm just going to use Duolingo and like I will get like B2 level or something, it is never going to happen, because right now with the course structure they have, the max that you can get to with Duolingo is going to be rather A2.2 or B1.1, like somewhere around that level. I'm sorry, a package came. So I was talking about Duolingo, right? So A2.2, B1.1, that is something that you should be kind of expecting from it. Don't have too much hopes in that. And the only reason is that you don't have a teacher who can like, you know, teach you different kind of stuff and like pretty much tell you like the tips and tricks on like, you know, how to approach some kind of difficulty or how to memorize some kind of rule in an easier way. So that is the story with Duolingo. So if you're doing it, do it. Don't do it casually, and try to always complement it with, you know, books. Without it, the language learning is pretty much useless. The same goes for the second unpaid resource that I'm telling you about, which is Deutsche Welle. So Deutsche Welle doesn't only have a news website, but also have this Deutsche Welle Deutsch lernen, like which is like pretty much focused towards like teaching German to other foreigners, and a super important website, I would say. Like they have a lot of material, they have a lot of different kind of resources, and you have audio stuff, you have video, of course, you have text-based content, and then you can like kind of like build a context around what kind of, you know, words you're learning and where they can be used and so on. But again, like the story is with Duolingo, if you don't have books to like give it a structure, it isn't going to be very useful for you, because in a day or two you're going to figure out, hey, right now I was doing maybe some quiz or some question for the level A1, and now I'm doing it for C1 and you don't really see the difference there. Nah? So it is very important to understand that, you know, whenever you're using any kind of free resource, that you always try to complement it with something which is giving you a structure, because free resources in itself is not going to give you the kind of structure you need to get from one place to the other place effectively. The same is true with my even YouTube channel, because I have a lot of different kind of videos, but if you want a structure and like you want to like be very serious, then I have my online course where you can like, you know, get help with your entire application process and like till the masters is done. So it's pretty comprehensive, and that was very important for me, like to take you from the first step till the last step when I was creating that course. That was pretty much the story about Deutsche Welle, and still complementing the free resources with books. The books which I recommend are from A1 to B1. You can use the books called Tangram from Huber Publication, and then afterwards for B2 you have Seal, and C1 you have Zisha. So like these are like my kind of like favorite for different kind of levels, and you can also like just keep one kind of like book series and follow it from A1 to C1. I think that would also maybe give you a better structure. For me, the reason to like have different kind of books for different levels was to see maybe if there's something that I might be missing out in one book from one publication which might be available in some other kind of publication. So that was pretty much my mindset behind it. So these are the stories about the unpaid resources where you can, you know, kind of like learn on your own, but I would still say they really are not that effective. Then afterwards, let's come towards the paid resources. A super important note, like this video is not being sponsored by any of the persons I'm mentioning in the video. So it's just like my personal experiences, what I have seen, like what kind of experiences other students have, everything combined. I'm just like sharing it here. So for the paid resources, the first one is going to be Goethe Institutes, and this is not just in Delhi, it could be like everywhere in India. So just see if you're in a major city, like you might be having a Goethe Institute nearby, so like just check it out there. So if you're living in a major city, maybe there's a Goethe Institute near you, so just take a look on the internet and see maybe if there is something like that. The nice thing about Goethe Institute is that, you know, they give you a bit more time to like let the language sink in, and you know, like to really give you the opportunities to enjoy the language learning. So like they have a lot of different kind of activities going around, and parties, and I don't know, like games and stuff, so which is nice because then you feel like very immersed in this process of language learning. But what I don't like there is that these things are taking a lot of time. So just like going for one level, sometimes it takes 3 months, sometimes going for half level it takes 3 months, which is well, it's way too much time for one single level. So if you have the luxury and the time to like, you know, study from the Goethe Institute, like of course feel free to do that. They do a great job at teaching German language. But if you have less time, less money, then like, you know, Language Pantheon or maybe the next resource that I'm going to talk about might be something of interest for you. So the third like paid resource that I have for you is Michael's course called Smarter German, and this is something which I've had personal kind of like, you know, experience with. Back in 2014, when I was like still like thinking of planning to learn German and everything, I was like writing to Michael when I came across his YouTube videos, and he had quite a few very high value like YouTube videos there. He didn't have the most number of subscribers, he didn't have the most number of views, but his language teaching was something which I found really interesting. So I was like, you know, let me write to him. And then afterwards I went through some of his videos, and you know, the course afterwards that I saw was like super interesting, and also something what I'm recommending to you today. So the A1 to B1 complete, I think, everyday German course is like a super nice course. You can go from complete zero to B1 in 3 months, and it really depends on how much time you want to put inside. So it's like more self-paced course. If you want to go through the different kind of lessons very quickly, that's completely up to you. If you want to take more time, that's also totally possible. But the nicer thing is that you really are in control. You can see like if you want to do the lessons twice, if you want to do the lesson 3 times, 4 times, whatever you want to do, that is possible. Then Michael also has these live Q&A sessions. So every second week or second weekend, like it depends when he does it. So he has this live Q&A session where like the students who are enrolled in the course can just join in and sit with him and, you know, ask their questions, and Michael answers them. I think another plus point is that if you're like, you know, practicing German in writing, then Michael is also going to correct your text, and when you send it to him, and then he will get back to you. So it's like also kind of a personal touch there, which I find super important when you are like, you know, taking any kind of course. So those are pretty much my recommendations. The nice thing about having an audience on YouTube or like in general is that you're able to like reach out to other businesses and like, you know, negotiate with them on their price and tell them, hey, is it possible for you to like give a 10% discount or something to my audience? And that is what happened. So for Michael's course, you can get a 10% discount on his course, which is from A1 to B1 with the coupon code Bharat in Germany. And you can just avail it on my website or with the link given in the description. There are also a few preview lessons that you can check out, and I think you'll just love it. Like, just go through it for the starting, because I was skeptical in the starting. I went through the course lessons, were super interesting, super nice. Yeah, just check it out. Now afterwards, let's come to the bonus tips. Now everybody loves bonus tips, and let's do it then. The one thing I would highly recommend you to do is like getting a Netflix subscription, and for education purposes. If you're watching Suits, if you're watching well, Game of Thrones is not there, Breaking Bad maybe, or any kind of other series, Narcos, you can watch it in German, which is crazy because, well, then you have the entire audio translated to German and have the German subtitles and everything, which is really nice because then you can build this context of like, if this kind of situation happens, what kind of things are relevant to say. Well, don't learn that purely from movies, because like, of course, movies don't really tell you the entire reality, like how it is going to be in real life, but still, like, you know the context and you know what kind of things could be said there. The same goes for YouTube videos from German YouTubers. You can just check out some of the German YouTubers and see like what kind of videos they're making. Not the YouTubers who are teaching German, but like maybe just the general daily life, or you know, any kind of like politics or whatever you're interested in. You can just check those YouTubers out who are like making the videos in German. I personally like really like to watch this comedian called Harry G. I think he's from Munich, and he makes like just comedy videos. The first video I watched from him was this video about like management consultant, which was like super interesting and funny. So I watched through all of them. That's like my like preference to just like, you know, spend some time entertaining myself and also improving the German proficiency. And Alina and I, we are going to start our German channel soon, which is going to be Alina unpaid, and we are going to see like maybe like, you know, you also find something of interest there. So in any case, these were my recommendations. You can check them out. And also the big mentorship program is going to start soon. This is going to be for the students who are in Germany and who are like, you know, trying to make the best possible kind of career out of the opportunities they have here. So if you are interested in that, you know, just follow the next videos and I'm going to share more information about the launch and everything, and then you can just, yeah, be in the big team. All right then, thanks for watching. Bye.